are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So an Instagram model has exposed Offsët for trying to ruin Cardi B and Stephon Diddy's relationship. She posted a screenshot of basically him asking the girl to try to sleep with Stephon Diddy. Okay, now she posted and said, "Off the cheap, keep violating me, but stay in my phone asking me to help set up Stephon Diddy. Please, super tender." But in these text messages, it doesn't really show him asking, for her to set up Stephon Diddy. From what I'm reading, I don't really see that. But they definitely are in communication, and it does show a text message saying delete these messages, which lets me know that they are in communication. He might be speaking to her through the phone, but making sure that he doesn't text anything incriminating. Here's my thing with Offsët. I don't know why you're trying to set up Stephon Diddy. He doesn't need for you to set him up. He sets himself up. Didn't he have like 4 kids on Cardi B already? He got 3 other babies that are a few months older than the baby Cardi B just had. So you don't really need to set him up. He's setting himself up. My whole thing is, why are you mad even if she is getting cheated on? You cheated on her for years. Clearly, she's not leaving Stephon Diddy anytime soon. So I don't know why you trying to set, Stephon Diddy up. He doesn't need your help. Now, moving on from that, a lot of fans are speculating that Nicki Minaj was subliminally throwing some shade at Queen B because Queen B was getting dragged for her weight. Not only that, though, Nicki did tease some bars for her next album. Now, a fan posted, "Can't edit this. My girl is stunning." She posted a teapot emoji. Queen B fans were not happy because Queen B is getting dragged on the way she looks. Getty pictures have surfaced the internet when she was at the F1 event. A Queen B fan said this woman does not like Queen B. Like, she sees the tweets. She knows what they are referring to, LOL. The jig been up. Okay, so fans are calling Nicki Minaj out. Now, I looked on Nicki Minaj's Twitter. I didn't see this tweet. So I don't know if she deleted it or not. It could still be up because Nicki does tweet a lot. But a lot of fans feel like she was throwing some subliminal shade at Queen B because the Beehive and I think Cardi B fans were talking about Nicki Minaj's weight. Okay, now, not only that, though, she did tweet some bars. She said United Nations was a MAGA flex. Trump on the text. Y'all should be afraid of what I'm going to do next. Now, some fans feel like this could be some shade at Camel Toe because in Camel Toe's song that he did, I believe back in 2009, the song is called On the Next One. He said, "Drinking quarter waters, I gotta be the best. MJ at Summer Jam, Obama on the text. Y'all should be afraid of what I'm going to do next. Hold up." So it looks like she kind of flipping Camel Face's lyrics a little bit. Or possibly she may be dissing Camel Face in this new song that she could be dropping. So let me know how y'all feel about the MAGA line, the MAGA flex line. I don't know how a lot of people may feel about that line. That's going to be very interesting on how people feel about her saying that she's texting, the Orange Grinch, and she talked about a MAGA flex. I think that's going to be a very interesting response amongst the general public and definitely some Nicki Minaj fans if she put that in a song. So it's going to be very interesting. Maybe she just tweeting off the dome, but it sounded like some bars. Now the queen of music is back. Queen B allegedly is in talks to perform during the Netflix Christmas halftime show for the second year in a row. Okay, remember she did the halftime show, I believe, in Houston for Christmas Day. Allegedly, they're saying in the streets that she could be doing that for a second time in a row. Queen B, the queen of music, is back. Okay, and the reason why she is called the queen of music, which is the name the industry gave Queen B, is because she's able to do multiple genres. And not just with singles, but with albums. She's done R&B, she's done pop. She hasn't done a gospel album yet, but she's definitely dabbled into gospel music, okay? She's done country, she's doing rock, she's doing jazz. She's done every genre. So no other artist has done that with albums. Not MJ, not Usher. There's nobody else. Only the queen of music. So that's why she has that title from the industry. But no shade. The person that handles the ESPN Twitter account needs to be fired. I mean, they posted some terrible pictures of Queen B. I'm sure she didn't authorize these photos. It's honestly ridiculous how they try to humiliate this girl. I mean, really? ESPN, you guys are wrong. Why would y'all post these pictures like that? Y'all could at least use a filter. Like, these are some terrible unfiltered pictures. Like, I was like, these can't be real. They do say, though, pictures, when you take a picture of somebody, it can add 10 pounds. Or is that when you're on TV, it adds 10 pounds? Which one is it? I think is if you're on TV, it adds 10 pounds. And she was being filmed. So I feel like these unedited pictures need to be taken down. I don't think that these were that great looking. And, you know, Queen Bee looks good. It's not that she's ugly. She looks very good. It wasn't flattering. I feel like they did her dirty. She comes to y'all event, you know, at the F1 sporting event, and this is how y'all do her. Just sad and terrible. I think she needs to call up your vet and get these pictures taken down ASAP. Now, moving on to Nicki Minaj and Megan. Megan basically called Bigfoot trash, okay? Now, Megan is still being a witness in her lawsuit against Milagro. And Milagro's lawyer asked about Bigfoot, okay? Megan testified and said it was just so silly. In the beginning, I couldn't even get through it. I just feel like it wasn't something I wanted to listen to. So then Milagro's lawyer said, so you have the ability to turn things off that you don't want to listen to. And she says, as it pertains to Nicki Minaj, yes. And then they also questioned her about Champagne Thickums' line in Circle Loco when he said this Bieber lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She said it isn't clear Champagne Thickums was talking about her. If he is talking about me, he's using it in a very indirect way. Okay? So a lot of people are saying that she's kind of saying that she didn't take Bigfoot seriously. That's why she called it silly. I do believe she listened to the whole song. I don't believe that she just listened to the beginning and then she couldn't get through it, because remember, didn't she quote Bigfoot towards the end and was quoting Nicki Minaj saying, "Oh, the things that you have lied about"? Wasn't she quoting Nicki on that?
What kind of sushi you have ordered?
Oh, that's not me?
Yeah, no,
what you do? What you do? Why you got all this food?
Oh. Is that good, Kelly? That's good. The amount of food
it looks like it's hot
you
as
have
fuck.
ordered.
So she was mocking Nicki Minaj, or paying homage, whatever you want to call it, to Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj said that towards the end of Bigfoot. So she listened to Bigfoot. Let's be very clear. She might not have taken it seriously, but she definitely listened to Bigfoot. And I think that with Megan Thee Stallion, I think she's scared to fully clap back at Nicki Minaj, because remember, Nicki said she was going to air, some text messages out So I definitely believe Megan be paying attention. I think she's going after Milagro because she views Milagro as the underdog versus Nicki Minaj and Champagne Thickums or the top dogs. So she can't really go after them successfully. She can go after Milagro because she got more money. She got Devil Nation. She's able to strategically turn the fans against a blogger that's not really big like the Shade Room. Okay, because a lot of fans have been dragging Milagro. So I feel like she's very strategic about who she goes up against. But I definitely think she listened to Bigfoot. She might not have taken it seriously, but she definitely listened to the whole song. I don't believe that she just listened to the beginning and then she couldn't get through it. I think that is a copping a plea, so that way she didn't have to respond. Okay, because she never fully responded. I think she copped a plea so she wouldn't have to respond. That is the real tea. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on from that, Demie has been making some noise recently because Euphoria, the next season, is coming out next year, and she's going to be on the next season, all 8 episodes, it was reported. Now, an old interview has been circulating around the internet in regards to what's going on in her career, because before she blew up on Euphoria, she did an interview talking about quitting acting. And basically, before she was a full-time actress, she was a stylist for Nicki Minaj and several other artists. She said, I wasn't booking anything ever. It was really hard, especially because I feel like a lot of lead roles I would go out for would go to the blonde hair, blue eye girl. Even Maddie, I think some people saw her as that. They didn't really see her as me. So I had to go in and prove myself. I don't think I would be a typical look for a role. You never see mixed or Latina woman as a lead. I was over people saying no to me. Okay, so that's what she said before she blew up in Euphoria. And allegedly behind the scenes, she is struggling still to get certain roles. Okay, even though she blew up on Euphoria, that's the word around the street, is that the reason why we don't really see her in other roles, like you see Sydney Sweeney get other roles, and Zendaya, obviously Queen Zendaya, always gonna get roles, but you don't really hear anything about Demie ever in regards to acting outside of Euphoria, is because allegedly behind the scenes she is still struggling with getting certain roles. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I think maybe she should go for different type of roles because she's in her 30s. I think maybe she should look into trying to, do more mature roles instead of the high school teenager roles. Okay. And I understand people in their 30s can play teenagers, but I feel like if you're always getting rejected for the blonde hair, blue eye girls, maybe you should look for other roles that might be best fitting for you. Okay. So let me know how y'all feel about it. Now, moving on to this Nick and Oländrïä mess. It is getting messy. Now, everybody knows Nick and Oländrïä from Love Island. They came in second place. And they are assumingly by the fans still together. But with that being said, a woman came on TikTok and basically said she saw Nick get a private dance at a private strip club. And she was questioning why he was doing that, being that he's in a committed relationship to Oländrïä. And she posted a whole video on TikTok. She even showed some pictures. She has since deleted the TikTok videos, but of course people screenshotted them, obviously. Now, so far, Nick and Oländrïä have been completely silent. Things could change, but they have been completely silent. And it also was reported that he was allegedly there for a brand-sponsored event by Celsius, and that's why he was there. So allegedly a brand was paying him to be inside a club. Some people are saying that it wasn't really a strip club. It was like a private event where they had bottle girls, but they just have skimpy outfits. But a lot of people feel like it was inappropriate or it looks bad because anytime he does something, Oländrïä gets dragged. So that's why a lot of the fans have an issue with it. Here's my thing. I voted for Nick and Oländrïä, as you guys probably know, because I was telling y'all to vote for them. But since Nick and Oländrïä have came out the villa, I've noticed a few things, okay? And I don't think they're necessarily negative, but I feel like, in my opinion, there's definitely a maturity difference. I think when you're watching Love Island, is hard to kind of tell who's mature and who's not, because Love Island is low-key childish anyway. I mean, no shade. Is like 5 couples and, you know, they're all kind of there only for money most of the time. And so it's a childish show. You know, it's not a place where you would really try to get real love, okay? People are there for the clout, the money, regardless. But I feel like there is definitely a maturity difference between Oländrïä and Nick, and I do eventually feel like they are not going to last. This is just my opinion, and it's really no shade. I feel like Oländrïä eventually will start to see that the compatibility level may not be there long term. I personally don't think Oländrïä wants somebody that's in the club. Whether you're getting paid or not, I don't think she wants anybody that's in the club all the time anyway. She comes off that way because she's literally never in the club. She's never doing paid club appearances. She did one for Greek Fest, but she's rarely doing that. She's on red carpet events 95% of the time in magazine covers. So I do feel like eventually she's going to see a lot of immaturity in him, and she's going to move to the right or to the left, whatever you want to call it. I noticed he was immature on the show when he was peeing on the toilet, and even the Sierra situation, I felt like that was a little bit immature in the villa and outside the villa, but I still liked them as a couple. But I'm starting to notice there's different levels. She wants to be like famous model level, red carpet event, Met Gala famous type of level. That's what she gives. Nick don't give that at all. I know that opposites can attract, but I do feel like eventually she's going to be like, you know what? I think I have to go a different direction. I know she probably don't want to admit it now because so many eyes are on them, but eventually not many eyes will be on them. Love Island just happened a few months ago, and I can see them parting ways. I don't think it's going to be a negative on either party, though, because they both have their fan bases. But Oländrïä, she's gearing up to be a big star. I feel like she got to find somebody that's on her level mature-wise, okay? And I've got some very hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description, and I hope you guys have a great day.